Hello, my name is Erica LaCroix. I'm your new town manager here in Farmington. I come to you with a long history in local government, and I'm actually native to the area. I grew up right over in Mount Vernon, so I'm very, very happy to be here, and I invite anyone who would like to come in and meet me to please do so. Make an appointment with the executive secretary, and we can have a sit down and chat. Would love to meet all of you. I'd also like to remind everyone that Monday, March 25th is voting day here in Farmington. The polls will be open over at the community center from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. You are electing 2 seats for Select Board and 2 seats for the school board. It's very important you get out and vote. That will be followed by our annual town meeting, 7 p.m., and that will be held at Mount Blue High School in the auditorium. So we look very much forward to seeing all of you there. Thank you very much.
I'm Sydney Brown. I'm running for Steve Bunker's open seat on the town select board. I grew up in Emden, Maine, so the county over, Somerset County, another rural community very similar to Farmington. Attended high school in Carrabeck. I swore I would never come to the University of Maine Farmington because it was right next door and that's where everybody went. I had that rural girl, big city dream. And then came here to Farmington in Upward Bound when I was a sophomore in high school. Immediately fell in love with the space, with the people, many of whom are still here today in the community and in the campus. There was just something really special about the place. So I knew come senior year of high school, this would be where I would be attending college. And lo and behold, I did as a first generation low income student. Big shout out to TRIO programs, without whom I would not be where I am right now. Fast forward through college, my majors were rehab services, so social work, political science, speaking to your politics piece, as well as a minor in psychology. So a big focus on individuals, what their daily struggles are, and how I can help. Post-college, I worked within TRIO programs, so kind of a full circle moment, providing the services that I received when I was going through high school and college to students coming up now. That was really fulfilling work, and I just changed roles this past October, so now I am the University of Maine Farmington and Augusta confidential resource advisor. So now I support faculty, staff, and students with interpersonal violence issues like sexual assault, domestic violence, stalking, those kinds of things. So again, the realm of helping, just kind of all over the board there. With political background, I have served on the Farmington Public Library Board for the past 5 years. Now they're vice chair and the staff liaison, so working to make sure if there are any relational struggles between staff and current directors that I can sit in and really help people mitigate and find solutions. And I've done that a couple times, I think successfully. We have a really strong staff in the library right now, and I was a member of said staff for many years during my undergraduate programs here at UMF, which is what made me want to join the board and continue giving back even though I'd moved on professionally. I met a lot of community members through that work, which is another factor in what made me realize that Farmington was so special. I got outside of the university bubble and the high school bubble. My husband is a teacher at Mount Blue High School, so we're really firm in those educational spaces, but that community work and the library showed me a bunch of other folks that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet, and that really instilled in me this love for the people and just this passion to serve and to give back however I can. Fast forwarding to now, asking for support with this election and joining the board, and I recognize I'm fairly young and new to this political space, but I have a lot of background and a lot of experience in helping folks and in active listening and making sure that people's struggles are heard and attended to. I think that will be a benefit on the board, and as well as budgetary background with the library and serving in the TRIO programs where we were a big part of a grant system, so familiar with the financial pieces, and yeah, just looking to give back however I can. My goals are fairly simple. I don't have an agenda. I want to improve the quality of life for our residents here in Farmington. I want to foster community engagement in various ways through partnerships with businesses, with the local school systems, as well as civically. I'd like to really partner with the residents here in town and be really open to communication and transparent information so that they can help me do the job for them. I really want to lead through listening. And then the last piece is just ensuring responsible governance and transparent fiscal responsibility. The strength that initially I thought of and what drew me into this community was our strong sense of community. People truly look out for each other, and I think in today's world that's fairly rare. So that's something I really want to build upon, as well as our educational and vocational opportunities. We have the local college, as well as some really excellent high schools in our area, and of course our elementary and middle schools as well, which brings in folks, educators. We have the hospital, we have a bunch of local businesses. It's just really thriving downtown, and then of course the natural beauty that surrounds us, as well as our historic charm that brings in other folks to come and see, whether it's the leaf peepers in the fall or historic tours to come and view our old libraries and all of our other beautiful historic spaces. I think Farmington is very similar to a lot of other rural communities in that we share some pretty clear challenges. Public transportation is very limited, and when it is available, sometimes it doesn't work within people's schedules. Access to social services is another limitation, as well as digital infrastructure with our broadband access. Especially now in our post-COVID world, that's something that we're more aware of is Wi-Fi access for people. Affordable and available housing, especially here in Farmington being a college hub, that's an area that is it's being very clearly that it's in need to focus on. And then our infrastructure maintenance, so roads, bridges, all of that. But that creates a special challenge because, as we saw with the flooding this past year, we need to fix a lot of things but improve upon them as well to make sure that we're more resilient for future climate-related weather occurrences. I love Farmington. I love this community. It's given me a lot my whole life now. I met my husband here at the university. We're raising our daughter here. It's become a really special place, so I want to give back to it, and I would appreciate any support that folks would like to provide me on March 25th.
Hi, I'm Dick Morton. I'm running for Farmington Selectman, actually the remaining 2 years of Steve Bunker's term, and I appreciate your having me here today and giving me a chance to introduce myself to Farmington. I am a Farmington boy to the core. My forebears were bankers. Were barbers, bakers, farmers, loggers, car dealers. Water company workers for Farmington. No lawyers. I was the first lawyer of the group. I went to Mallet School. I went to Farmington High School, on to Dartmouth College, and then Boston University. Spent 5 years on active duty with the Army as an Army lawyer overseas, Germany and Korea, and then came back to Farmington to make it my home. I was Franklin County's judge of probate for 36 years, which, although the position isn't political, it's still political. You have to run for it in a political way. So in that regard, I was elected for 36 years, 4 terms at a time, to serve in that job. I was a legal advisor to the Maine legislature when I first started out. I was assistant district attorney, defense counsel in the criminal courts. I practiced virtually every kind of law, whether it domestic relations, business, a lot of real estate, child protective cases, even a little bankruptcy, not much. So I have a pretty broad connection with a lot of areas that impact town government, or where town government impacts all of us. My primary goal is to learn and listen and constructively consider the issues as they come before the board. I think, as we all know, the key expense centers for Farmington are personnel costs, equipment, roads, buildings, and long-term capital planning. And those issues drive everything. Every issue that comes before the selectmen, or almost every issue, bears on those to some extent or another. And so the goal is to always keep my eye on the long term, always keep my eye on the future and Farmington's needs for the future, recognizing that the budget and keeping the town operating efficiently and effectively is really the selectmen's primary responsibility. I don't have an agenda of special issues. I'm not trying to move the board in any one particular direction. I just want to be a positive participant in that process. Well, I think Farmington is being very well run at the moment. Our new town manager seems really knowledgeable and energetic. I have a lot of respect for the department heads. They seem to be very professional and really dedicated to their jobs. And I can't speak to the morale of the general workforce because I haven't been a part of that process. And I'm hoping the morale has improved and is high, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing that. I think the town itself is very robust economically. It's powered by small business, a very responsive banking community, innovative manufacturers that have moved into the area, the college and the hospital. So I really think the town is in great shape and is moving forward. I do think we need to look more at affordable housing and workforce housing. I know that the town is always considering being a part of the financing for those projects, or at least approving them and having the town participate, not necessarily as a financial sponsor, but as a governmental sponsor. I think that's really important. Always need to study parking. Downtown parking is always a big issue in Farmington, and overall economic development has to always be on the front burner. But I think another issue, and I've thought about it a lot over the years, Farmington is the gateway. It's the entry point, the hub to all of North Franklin County, to northern Oxford County, to the corridor going up northern Somerset County. Farmington is a banking center, a financial center. We really need to keep our eye on being a shopping destination, a dining destination, a kind of gear-up destination for all of those natural resources. It's a beautiful town, and it's a perfect place to begin that journey, to attract permanent residents and also attract people to come. And so I think we kind of always need to have our eye on that vision, because I think that's where Farmington can thrive. I think Farmington is a true treasure. It's beautiful. It's vibrant, growing, has a great mix of charm, both in its people and in its architecture. And it's really full of passionate leaders from every perspective. And whether we're dealing with budgets, whether we're dealing with belt tightening, whether we're dealing with social issues and policies going forward, all of those people bring their ideas to the table. Sometimes there's disagreement. Oftentimes there's disagreement in terms of which direction we should head, whether to be cautious, whether to be bold. And I'm just really anxious to be a part of that conversation and a part of the decision-making process that goes on when those issues are brought forth and are on the table. I've lived in Farmington a long time. I've been to virtually every town meeting ever since I was a little boy. And I can picture those former selectmen and select women. I can see them as in my memory as I think about it, and the service that they gave to Farmington and the time they committed, and particularly at town meeting, the amount of heat they took from time to time. I can only aspire to serve as they did, and to use them as an example of commitment to Farmington and to Farmington's people. And I look forward to doing that if the citizens decide to give me that opportunity.